Folks, it's Scott at Pro Country Auction Service, and we are at Pioneer Days here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, featuring the Al Wedland collection of Silver King tractors and much more. And it's just a quick reminder to get your bids in. The online auction does end Monday, August 14th, and for more information, you can visit us at ProCountryAuction.com. Just a few of the highlights. We got the 1934 Plymouth tractor, which we featured in many videos before. We got a 35 Silver King, a 36 Silver King, which is right behind me, and directly behind that is a 1937 Silver King tractor as well. We also have a couple collector cars. I know we got a 1940 Buick 8 car, and we also have a lot of neat items, hard to find items included on this online auction. So once again, the online auction ends Monday, August 14th. Scott with Pro Country Auction Service here at Pioneer Days in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Joined by Jeff Potter, who's one of the main involvements here. Announcer. I'm kind of stumbling here, but that's okay.
Yeah,
maybe you take it from there, Jeff. Tell us a little bit about Pioneer Days.
Pioneer Days is a walk back into the history of what farming used to be. We have antique tractors, we have steam engines, gas engines, garden tractors, you name it. They have all kinds of activities out here throughout the weekend. We have a big tractor pull on Saturdays. We're trying a garden tractor pull again on Sunday this year. We're also doing a car show tonight.
Great. And how many tractors do you anticipate that's going to be here at this year's event?
Hard to say.
But
we usually get probably 300 to 400 tractors.
300 to 400 tractors.
Yeah, so
that's a great display. Absolutely. And tell us a little bit what's going on behind the camera back there. We got a lot of hit and miss engines, a lot of antique or vintage farm power and farm toolage going on back there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. You get to come out, you get to see everything from a little 3/4 horse gas engine up to a 25 horse field engine, which they use down in the oil fields. You can see every different kind of gas engine that was ever used, hit and miss engine, what they were used for, washing machines, grinders, you name it. Anything that was used on a farm, it would have been run by a gas engine.
Absolutely. And I know one of the most recent crazes going on out in the world today now is maybe blacksmithing is kind of getting rejuvenated. Is there any blacksmithing going on here?
Absolutely. We've got a complete blacksmith shop set up over there. They've got 3 or 4 different blacksmiths in there bending metal all day long, all weekend long. It's just a process of heating it up until they get it to the right temp, bend it around, and make what they want.
Absolutely. So great. It's going to be a great weekend. We got great weather here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin for this event. Yes. And if people want to find out more information on the web, how would they find out?
Go to Pioneer Days. Chippewa Valley Antique Engine Model Club also has a website, or you can go right to Pioneer Days on our Facebook page.
Outstanding. Again, we're here in Pioneer Days. It's in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. It's currently August 11th, 12th, and 13th, and that's where it's going to be all happening. So if you'd like to see something a little bit about yesteryear, make sure you make your way to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, just on the south side on Highway 37.
3 miles south of Eau Claire, Highway 37, right on the corner of 37 and 85. You can't miss us.
There we go. We hope to see you here. Hey, folks, it's Scott at Pro Country Auction Service, and we are in the blacksmith shop, and I'm with Dan Winrich. And we're going to talk a little bit about anvils. Dan, quickly tell the folks a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from Falkirk. We've got anvils. If you're a blacksmith, you're always interested in anvils. And anvils are made in a lot of different makers around, but they always consider the Hay Budden anvil of Brooklyn, New York, the Cadillac anvil.
And we got a Hay Budden on display here today. Is that right?
Yeah, we got a Hay Budden over here. This little one on that stump there, and this one on this stump over here is a Hay Budden too.
This one is a Hay Budden as well.
Yeah, made by the Hay Budden Company.
And what kind of makes that anvil a better anvil? Is it
It's the temper of the steel on the face and all that, and it don't chip, mark up like some anvils are brittle and chip, and
it kind of keeps its shape and it doesn't round the corners.
Yep. It's just the way they work. They were just really well made.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are some other common anvils that you'll find out in the
you'll find
countryside?
a lot of them that were made in England was Peter Wright anvil, and you'll see a lot of those around here in the Midwest, and they're all different sizes. Peter Wright must have shipped tons and tons of them over here from England, and they were made from about 1880 to 1930s were shipped over here in the United States. But then you'll see Trenton anvil made by the Columbus Forge and Iron Works. And then you'll see a Fisher anvil that was a Fisher Iron Works, and they were New Jersey. So there's a lot of different anvil makers. One we had in Wisconsin here was an anvil made down at a Racine foundry.
Okay.
And that was a Vulcan.
A Vulcan. You see, yes, we do see Vulcans around here quite
You'll
common.
see them around pretty common.
Them come across the auction block
Yeah.
every now and then.
They
Yeah,
aren't
absolutely.
they're a cast anvil. They aren't a real good anvil, but they work. I mean, you can use them.
Yep.
They were cheap anvils. One of them, the hardware store anvil, you'd call them.
What are some other popular tools you have in the blacksmith shop that you would use in your blacksmithing tools or
Well, of
duties?
course, you always got your hammer.
Got your hammer.
Yeah.
And how about your forge?
Well, they can be beat out of anything. Anything that'll build a fire in.
Anything you can generate some heat.
Yep. And we're burning coal, regular blacksmith coal right now. So when we
Trying to get a little.
I'll see if it's still going. I had just shut it off when I had lunch. It's still going.
Absolutely. Still plenty of heat in the forge.
Oh, lots of fire. We'll get a big fire here.
Outstanding. There it is. The fire is lit to home.
Fire is burning.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's get back to a hammer. What do you like to see in a good hammer?
Well, he's a bigger guy than me. He likes a big hammer. This one's plenty big enough for me. This is only about 1.25 pounds.
Sure.
But this style is called a French hammer. It's just the way it's made with the cross peen here. And that's just your standard blacksmith hammer.
Dan, tell us a little bit about what this vise is all about right here.
Well, the post vise is made for blacksmithing, and these are all made out of steel and are forged. But you can't use a regular bench vise like some of the ones you buy modern, because they're cast, and if you pound on them, you'll break them. Where these are all steel, and a lot of them are forged. And so if you pound on this one, you aren't going to break it.
Yeah, and you find a lot of these, and especially we find them in the auction business in older barns,
Yeah.
older shops. They're still
Yeah,
out there.
all the old farm auctions have one around. A lot of them. Well, you stop and think every farm had a little blacksmith shop.
Yeah,
They made stuff.
if they had a horse,
Yeah,
Yep.
big farm machinery.
absolutely.
You know.
And they're kind of designated by that post that goes down to the ground, aren't
Yep.
they?
Yep.
Yep.
Goes down the pound ground. So when you put steel in here, you can bend it, either which way. That just a nice tool that you need. So that's basically your blacksmith tools that you need.
We got Blacksmithing 101 kind of covered here today, don't we?
You need a post vise, a good anvil, a hammer,
And a little fire to
and a
home.
fire and pound.
There you
Of
go.
course, you gotta have your tongs to grab your hot steel if you're working with short pieces. So,
Yep.
and so sometimes you don't need very many. I got everything I need here with me to forge for.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Well, folks, again, we're here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, August 11th, 12th, and 13th. It's Pioneer Days. For more information, you can visit us. We'll have the link on our website and on our Facebook page. Come on out to Eau Claire if you're looking for a little vintage action, and have a great day.
Hi guys, I'm here with Dan. We're going to talk a little bit about thrashing today. So what is this machine we got here, thrashing?
This is a separator.
Okay.
It separates from the bedding. It takes the grain out of the rye,
Yep.
and after we get done with the straw will be in a separate pile, and the grain will be in a wagon.
We'll have a picture of the grain here in the video, so you can see what it's like. How much can you put in here? Like a wagon every hour, wagon every...
I'm not for sure because we just do it for show here, but if it was on a modern farm, they would try to keep that conveyor as full as they can and keep thrashing.
So you could go pretty fast.
Well, they can probably do a wagon every 15 minutes.
Yep.
Depends how full they got the wagon.
Yeah.
If they really make a good wagon, they can fill these wagons up, and a wagon can do probably half a wagon of grain if they fill that wagon right.
Okay, so a lot. So we got a steam engine here running it. Is that it's made for a steam engine? Can you run it with anything
You
else?
can run it with a Farmo M with a pulley on,
Okay.
or a Massey, whatever has a pulley.
Yep.
It'll run the thrash machine.
So what about the fields here? How does that? How do you plant it?
When
Plow it, all that.
when we first get this grain going we plant this crop during the fall of the year because it's rye.
Yep.
And usually rye and winter wheat, they're usually fall of the year. Then you go to oats and the spring grains we plant during the spring. And a lot of that you got to prep the field, get everything prepped, fertilized, everything. Then after we get everything prepped and leveled out, we take a drill. Sometimes we broadcast. Some people broadcast. Some people got a grain drill. They plant it in the ground at a small depth so it's not too deep. So the seed comes up. And this crop here we're doing here today, it has to set the winter. It has to be planted in the fall because it has to go through sensation. Then in the spring it'll start growing up. It'll be a full grain. If you don't get it like that, the spring, if you plant it in the spring, this will not make a seed crop.
So you're talking planting in the fall. Are you talking like now, August time?
Yep,
or are
right
you
now.
talking?
We're in August right now. Another 2 months, people will be out putting the seed in the ground of rye for next
So you're
spring.
talking like September, October.
Yep.
Late. Okay. Because I know for us deer hunters, we're planting rye about now for next year's season.
The reason you're planting now because you want a little green top for the fall for the deer.
Yep. And then you want it ready for the fawns and things in the spring.
Yep.
So, hey, thanks for talking. I appreciate it. And we'll get on to some other interviews here. Hi, guys. I'm here with Gary Henning, interviewing him on his steam engine he's got here. How it works, some horsepower. What do we have here? What is this?
This is the last Minneapolis steam engine made by the Minneapolis Threshing Machine Company from Hopkins, Minnesota. It was built in 1924. It's a 20 horsepower model. The 20 horsepower is the boiler rating. That's how much steam, how much water it can evaporate to make steam.
Okay.
The engine itself puts out about 65 to 70 horsepower. I've had it on a brake that we start out at 250 RPM, and he can put that brake on and stall this engine at 1,200 foot-pounds of torque. If he backs that brake off at 1,100 foot-pounds, it'll just start right up, one RPM.
And 1,100 foot-pounds is a lot.
At 1
that's
RPM.
like- Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a modern day diesel.
Semi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this engine will pull an 8-bottom plow very comfortably. And I can stop in the ground and start up again at will. That's how powerful it is. But
So you don't even have to pull it out of the ground to get started again.
No,
Wow.
just pull the throttle. And no clutch. You pin the clutch so it doesn't slip.
Yep.
It's a wooden shoes on the flywheel. And
Wooden shoes on a steam engine.
Yep.
I see.
On
Okay.
in the flywheel.
Yeah.
On the other side. And they have a pin called a plow pin.
Yep.
You stick it in case you start to slip or you don't want to slip because it's oily. And away you go. You don't need to use the clutch at all.
That's cool.
Yes.
So how much water do you go through?
Well, if we plow, let's put it this way. We start out, it holds about 300 gallons to get it to operating level. Each of my water tanks hold approximately 100 gallons. If I plow a 40-acre field, quarter mile down and quarter mile back, I will almost empty both tanks. So I will use about 200 gallons of water per round.
So I see this tank sitting here. What is this?
This is a water wagon. Even though it's a case, it'll still work with a Minneapolis.
Yep.
But it's extra water that could have been horse-drawn, or a
Okay.
tractor would have pulled it. They'd go retrieve water
Okay.
from the nearest source, whatever that may be, and bring it back to the engine. Well, of course, here on a sawmill, we can leave it in one
Yep.
spot and take water from it. Plowing, of course, it would meet us at the end of the field, and we'd be resupplied with water. Of course, it would be nice to plow with coal, We don't have coal here, but we're on a sawmill. So, of course, we generate all our own fuel. We have all the slab wood.
Yep.
So we have unlimited fuel
Amount of
supply
wood.
as we work. So the slabs get cut shorter and in we go. So we don't need coal here.
Yep.
In motion, in a field, coal is easier than wood. We'd have to have a big pile of wood on the engine.
So how old is this machine?
Oh, I'm sorry, 1924.
1924. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, folks. I'm here with Daryl Danke. He's going to tell me a little bit about pulling. I don't know anything. I've never pulled, never even looked into it really. So, what's pulling? Let's start there.
Okay, actually we got tractor pulling going on, and I've been doing this for around 50 years. We have 3 different classes that we use for pulling, actually 4. We have the antique tractors that we pull. Them are 39 and older. And then we have the classic tractors that pull, they're 1959 and older. And then we have the farm tractors that are 76 and older. And we go by, when we pull these tractors, we go by weight, and then we go by the year, and that's how we determine what classes we pull in.
So, how many classes do you have here?
Well, we have 4 different classes. We have like antique, we have classic, we have the farm class, and then we have the open class.
Okay, so the open class, anybody can pull, basically.
Anybody can pull, everything goes, or you don't need any, we don't have a speed limit, we can have used cut tires. You know, it's one of those that you can go at any speed you like.
So tell me a little bit about pulling. How do you pull? Are there like techniques? You don't want to go too fast, too slow.
Well,
shift gears. What?
Yeah, one of the things that we do here, it's a family event.
Yep.
And the kids can pull as long as they're 16 years of age or older, and they have their driver's license and they had their courses in safety. Okay, tractor safety. But then otherwise, we can have the women pull. We have the guys pull. There's no qualifications or speed or age, or we have pulling anywhere from 16 up to 85 years old that people pull. So they can
it's a wide range.
Right. So it's a family deal, so anybody can pull at any time. So yeah. So it's what's really nice about it. It's a family deal. It's something that people enjoy doing. It's their hobby. They like to pet their tractors, and they just like to pull it.
So, if I was going to get into pulling, what are the key things for pulling? Like, what's the trick with pulling?
One of the things that you got to do is when you get into pulling, there's some of the things that take place is you got to have your tractor balanced right. You got to have it weighted right. If you have too much weight in the back, the front end's going to come up. If you got too much weight in the front, the rear end is going to spin out. So you got to get it balanced to your tractor. Make sure you got it weighted correctly, and the more even you can weight it, the better it's going to pull.
So you want to have pretty consistent weight on the back compared to the front.
That's correct.
Okay.
And not only that, but you also got to make sure that you have gas in them. I was pulling today.
That would be key.
Yeah, gas makes a big difference. But most of them are gas, but we do have some that are diesel also. Yeah.
Okay. So do you shift while you're going or not normally?
Normally we do not, except for the farmhouse. They have that shift. They can do that. You know, do that as far as, yeah. So,
okay.
Yep.
Well, thanks for your time, and we'll get some interviews in with a few other guys.
You betcha. You can do that.
Thank you.
You betcha. Thank you.
Hey, folks, I'm here with Ed and Alyssa. We're going to talk first about the tractor pull, and then we're going to move on to some other stuff. I'll get you started here. What's going on back here?
Well, what we got going on here right now is the pedal tractor pull. It's an event for the kids. It's, it's like the big tractors, except you got to pedal them.
Yep.
And our kids have been involved in it. Alyssa here was in the pedal tractor pull when she was young. My son Kalen was also. And that's my brother Bill down there that's getting things moving along today.
Get the kids involved.
That's right. Down here at Pioneer Days at Pioneer Park, south of Eau Claire, this is the kids' kind of entertainment area. It's a safe place. It's on the other end of the food stand, so the folks can come in and get a lunch and a drink and whatever and sit in the shade, and the kids got plenty of room to play.
Absolutely. So what's the age limit here with pedal tractors, or is it weight, or how does that work?
Well, the way we've been doing it here for quite a few years is we do a weigh-in. And Alyssa can tell us more about that because she kind of ran the clipboards and the scales and the weigh-in.
Yeah, this year I didn't run the clipboards, but in previous years we have different weight brackets.
Yep.
So depending on your weight, you get put into different classes, and we find that's a little bit easier than doing an age bracket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because once you get ages, you can get longer legs, kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah,
More
good
muscle
weight.
mass, and yep, absolutely.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Well, one of the other things that we do is help set up the kids area here to make a safe, fun place for them to play. I was involved in tractor pulling, 30 years ago, and kind of outgrew that hobby. And now we have the Go Devils, they call it, the blue barrels that we pull behind our farm haul cub. I like to be more involved with the youth side of things.
Yep,
at
absolutely.
the grounds
I
here.
completely get that.
Yeah. Good afternoon. This is Ed Gorell, and I'm at Pioneer Days at the Chippewa Valley Antique Engine and Model Club. And we're here at Heritage Square, and I would like to introduce Jean Patton. She is the power and the manager of what we call Heritage Square. So, Jean, if you step out of the way here, and we'll get a picture of the sign here, and maybe you could explain a little bit about what you folks are doing here.
We are making up a lot of fun stuff on the antique cook stoves that have been donated to our club by very generous people. So far today, we've made a chicken noodle soup and what we lovingly call egg coffee in the old big pots that don't have the way to strain the grounds from the coffee. Drop an egg into it, and it takes the coffee grounds out of the coffee.
I've seen that done, but it was 50 years ago.
We're bringing back that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And then we've made skillet cakes and multiple kinds of cookies, monkey bread or caramel rolls. Just a little bit of a lot of different treats, along with using a World War II popcorn popper to make popcorn and then flavor it with different store ingredient flavorings.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, I'm told it is.
Yes.
I like it.
One of the things that I've always enjoyed in the afternoon here at Heritage Square is the fact that they've got the shade trees, and when the sun starts to move over to the west, along about 2 o'clock in the afternoon or so, this is the place to be.
So for more information, you can visit us at ProCountryAuction.com. You can call us at 715-495-0814, or you can email us at info@ProCountryAuction.com. Again, Pro Country Auction Service makes both buying and selling easy. We look forward to hearing from you.